Hi, and welcome to Provision ISR webinar. In this webinar, we're going to talk about the changes that are coming in the IP range. In the next few months, we're going to see a lot of changes in the IP range, and we're going to talk today about three main topics. The first one is the design of the housing. Provision ISR decided to change the design of the housing to be a little bit more fashion, to have a unique trademark to Provision ISR housing. And we're going to go through all the new housing and the changes in that. And we're going to talk about the new series in the IP range. We have a few series that we had until now, and some of them are going to be changed to new lines. And most important, we're going to talk about video analytic and the new artificial intelligence capabilities. This is something that is changing our market, not only the CCTV industry, but the security industry in general. And we're going to show you all the new features in the artificial intelligence. So sit back, enjoy, and let's start.
So to begin with, the main changes Provision ISR is going to have in the next few months is the shift to a new design for the housing. We decided to add some more fashion into the housing. Today, CCTV camera is not only a security camera, it's also furniture in your office, in your home, in the shop, and it needs to have some kind of, a little bit of fashion, a little bit of color in our eyes, and because of that, we design a new housing. The benefit of it is one, today all of them look very similar. It doesn't matter if it's a bullet camera, they will all look the same, just different size. And if it's an eyeball or a turret camera, they will look the same, or anti-vandal housing, they will look the same, different housing. And there is a very clear look to the new Provision ISR housing. First, the new design, more elegant, a little bit more fashion, a very unique trademark to Provision ISR housing, the red line, so it can be recognizable very easily. We also managed to increase dramatically the IR distance for the new cameras. And today we have, and by the way, from the model of the camera, you can always know the distance of the IR, the effective distance of the IR. So I2 is for 20-meter IR, I4, which is available in fixed lens or in motorized lens, with an IR distance of 40 meters, I6 for 60, I8 for 80, even on the dome or eyeball or turret camera, whatever you name them, we have anywhere between 20 to 40 meters, and anti-vandals, which is more for public areas, it's for 20 meter, 40 meter, and so on. Next topic I would like to explain is the new series in Provision ISR line, basically an improved series. So also in the past we used to have and still do S-sight and I-sight, and we stay with them, and we're adding a new line called Smart Sight. So let's see them. So like I said, one thing is very noticeable. We changed the icon of the series a little bit, just a little bit nice new improvement. So let's talk about the series. S-sight, S stands for simple. This series is dedicated for the installers who are seeking for a simple IP system with great performance. It's the best value price they can get. For that kind of installation, the installer is not looking for high-end analytics, is not looking for face recognition, is not looking for triggers, relays to connect the camera with the door, with the access control system, or with the alarm system. He's just looking for a simple, good quality IP camera at the best price condition that we can get. For that, we have the S-sight available in 2, 4, and 8 megapixel. The new I-sight series, this is the improved I-sight series. Again, we changed the icon as well. This series is dedicated for the installers that are looking for an advanced solution. A solution that can offer them analytics, face detection, face recognition. All the cameras have a relay on board the cameras, input or output or both, to connect it with home automation, with access control, or anything you want. All of them has WDR, have SD card, audio. Some of them have built-in microphone. But the most important that they carry the new artificial intelligence analytics, and we will talk about it in a minute. These cameras, this series is also available in 2, 4, and 8 megapixel. Please note that unlike in the past, when we used to have 2, 5, and 8 megapixel, the market is now shifting to 2, 4, and 8 megapixel. In this case, the manufacturer of the component himself, Sony, is dictating in the market changes, and the market is shifting to 2, 4, and 8 megapixel. A new line of series of cameras, IP cameras that we launched is called Smart Sight series. This new Smart Sight series include high performance of artificial intelligence analytics, and this series is designed for specific purposes. If we need face recognition camera, not just a general surveillance camera that has face recognition capabilities, but we're looking for a face recognition solution, or we're looking for license plate recognition, or we're looking for a perimeter alarm, this is the series, that limited amount of models, and we will go through it. So just again, to explain the different, a little bit more about the difference between the series. So for example, we can see the compression. In the S site, we have H.265, while in the I site and the Smart site, it's already H.265 Smart. All the cameras have SD card today. When talking about WDR, so in the S site, we're talking about digital WDR, while in the I site and Smart site, we talk about a true WDR, 120 dB, and more. If you're looking for a Starlight solution, we have it in the I site series. Relays, alarm, audio, you can see most of it from this table. Let's talk a little bit about video analytics and artificial intelligence analytics and the capabilities that come with it. And this is one of the major changes the market is going through right now. So a little bit about past and future when it comes to analytics. Up until recently, the analytics that used to be in the camera, and also Provision-19 have it in the S site and the I site, the current series that we have. We have analytics in those cameras, line crossing, stereo area, and more. However, this analytics is based on pixel changes analytics, meaning we check if there are any pixel changes around that analytic. For example, we draw a line for line crossing, and we draw a line. We say, okay, every time something is crossing that line, alert me because this is an alarm. However, the pixel changes can occur from many things. They can be from a human being crossing the line. They can be from a car crossing the line. They can be from bicycle crossing the line. And they can also be from garbage flying in the wind and that crosses the line. And it's a true alarm. Something crossed the line. It can be also heavy rain or something that can trigger those alarms, and that might cause false alarm. And that's why it's less effective. Today, in the future, the market is shifting into artificial intelligence. Provision-19 is inside that market as well. And artificial intelligence, which is new, is bringing us two main improvements. The first one relates to the video analytic itself, and this is what we call in Provision-19 DDA video analytics, which is now based on the ability to recognize what is it that we see, do the object recognition. So DDA stands for detect, distinguish, and alerts. Detect, the camera detects that there is a change in the scene, something changed. Distinguish, the camera distinguishes what is it that is changing the scene. At the moment, we can distinguish between human beings, two or four-wheel vehicles. By the end of this year, we'll be able to distinguish in human beings between male, female, adult, and child. Next year, it will be distinguishing between colors of cars, colors of clothes, and sky is the limit in this artificial intelligence. And by that, we basically reduce the amount of false alarm almost to zero. The second improvement that artificial intelligence brings us is the major improvement in the face detection capabilities. Face detection and face recognition is becoming more and more useful, not only in the high-end market, but also in your everyday market installations. And Provision-ISR is in the front of this technology. And the artificial intelligence is bringing a major improvement into the accuracy of the face detection and the fast reaction of the system for the recognition. So based on this DDA video analytics, we can now do DDA line crossing, DDA stereo area, DDA object counting, face detection, and more, which is part of the new EyeSight V2 line. Just a small word that we wish to teach you here is FLOP. FLOP is floating point operation per second. Basically, just to understand, this artificial intelligence creates a situation that the camera needs to the ability to, in order to understand what is it that she sees in the image, the camera needs to do millions of mathematical calculation in real time. To do that kind of a thing, you need an enormous power of components. So today we use Tera FLOP components. This FLOP used to belongs to the supercomputer in the past. Just for the general understanding, in the year 2000, 1 teraflop cost around $1.4 million. Today, Provision-ISR is putting basically in every EyeSight camera anywhere between 0.5 to 4 teraflop. And this allows the camera to do millions of calculations in real time and alerts for real alerts. So when talking about the analytics, we can define it, we can separate it into 3 different levels of analytics. The first one is the general video analytic, mostly what we consider as camera tempering. Anything relates to something happening in the camera. Somebody sprays the camera and change the scene. Somebody cover the camera with a hat or something and change the scene. Someone move the camera, shift the camera completely from its position. So those analytics called camera tampering exist in all of the Provision-ISR cameras. The standard video analytic is what we used to call the video analytic in the past, based on pixel changes, and it's mostly good for line crossing and stereo area. The artificial intelligence, and by the way, the standard video analytic is the one that still exists in the S-Sight. Remember, the S-Sight is the one which stands for simple. Installer not looking for analytics, face recognition, they're just looking for a good IP camera, the best price condition, but it also carries the standard video analytics. You can do line crossing, stereo area, and it's mostly suitable for indoor. However, in the artificial intelligence, we're talking about the new DDA capability, detect, distinguish, and alerts. So we can do line crossing, stereo area, object counting, not only people counting, but we can count human beings, we can count cars, we can count bicycle, and sky is the limit. And we can do face detection and face recognition. So going quickly again through the series, S-Sight, mostly for your residential market, small shops, and so on. For a simple series, looking for good video, good IP camera at the best price condition in 2, 4, and 8 megapixels. Available in 4 different models of housing, 2 turret cameras or eyeball cameras, and 2 tube or bullet cameras with varifocal lens, with motorized lens, very limited series. Again, H.265, digital WDR, all of them have SD card now. Some of them even have audio coming into the camera to connect to your external microphone and so on. Then we have the eyesight. This series dedicated to the installers who are looking for a professional line when they are looking for full connectivity of the camera, including relays and audio and sometimes built-in microphone, available in 2, 4, and 8 megapixel with all the analytics and face recognition, the artificial intelligence analytics and the face recognition, full, much bigger variety of housing, including anti-vandal housing and motorized lenses and even box camera to mount any lens that you want. Some camera has built-in microphone and so on. Again, smart H.265, true WDR, audio in, audio out, alarm in and out, SD card in all the cameras. Some cameras have starlight sensor in them. The 2 megapixel is a starlight sensor series. And then we have the smart sight. Like I said, in the smart sight series, this is a series dedicated to a specific solution, not just to a general surveillance, but for a specific solution. In this series, which is coming around Q3, we're talking about 3 different solutions. We talk about perimeter alarm camera, face detection camera, and an LPR that will come a little bit later. So going through those cameras, the perimeter alarm camera is basically give the user full protection, including the DD analytics, meaning it's an eyesight camera with the DD analytics, the ability to detect that there is a movement, to distinguish that there is what is it that I see, and to alert. In this case, the alert is not only your common alert like any other eyesight camera, meaning push notification, relays, start recording on the NVR, and so on. But in this type of housing, we also have some built-in physical alert on the camera itself. We have a built-in siren and a built-in flashlight for physical alerts. The second camera in this series is what we call the face detection and face recognition camera. What do I mean here? Like I said before, anyone that wants to understand face recognition needs to understand that face recognition built from 2 parts. One, the camera. The camera is the one that's doing the face detection, that detects that from that scene, this is a face, and sending a snapshot of that face to the NVR. The NVR is doing the second part, which is the recognition. So we have the camera that's doing the detection, and the NVR that's doing the recognition from a database that we build, or from the recording data on the NVR. The new smart sight camera is basically a camera that can do both processes. So it can be only in detection mode, and it will be an improved, dramatically improved face detection camera. However, it can also act as an all-in-one mode, meaning the camera will do the face detection and the face recognition with no need to connect it to an NVR. It can be a standalone unit with an SD card built into the housing of the camera, where you will have all your databases of faces, and the camera can be a standalone unit at an entrance of a shop, at the entrance of an office, and can act as an access control unit, opening and closing doors to allow list groups or to block people from going in. And it can act as an access control unit. It can act as a time and attendance unit. It can act as a customer relation unit, and all with an all-in-one camera that doesn't even need to be connected to the NVR if we don't want to. Together with those new housing, we also bring a new lines of junction box and brackets. We did two nice things in this. One, we minimize even more the amount of junction boxes. Today, to all the new housing, we have basically 4 junction boxes. 2, which is indoor mostly, IP64, JB12, and JB14, and 2 outdoor junction boxes, again JB14 and JB12, just IP66 or IP64. The second thing that and again, those 4 brackets can fit any one of the new housing. Doesn't matter if it's an anti-vandal camera, an eyeball camera, a bullet camera, all of them will fit any one of those 4 junction boxes. The second thing that we did is I think we managed to create a really nice explanation for the installer on how to choose the right accessories that he needs. So let's say I'm using an i4 camera and I want to mount it to a corner of a house. So I will take my camera, I will choose one of the junction boxes that I want to choose, an indoor and outdoor one, and because I need it for a corner mount, I will use this part here, and I have an option also to extend the bracket or something by using this extension here. So by that, for the installer, makes much more easier to understand which accessory to take according to the installation type that he needs, whether it's a wall mount, ceiling mount, pole mount, or corner mount, and we have it for all the cameras. That's it for now. Thank you very much for joining us. We do those kind of roadmap every 5-6 months to tell you in advance about the changes that are coming, and this time those changes are really taking a big step in CCTV, especially when it comes to artificial intelligence, and we look forward for the future. Thank you for joining.